Alright, it's no surprise the cost of living is atrocious right now. I just had breakfast today with one of my friends, and she was telling me about teaching, because she's a teacher. We love our fellow teachers. But she was telling me how her income it doesn't pay for her to live, like, completely independent, which is crazy. But if you don't know this, I live in Arizona. Arizona's not great for track record for paying their teachers a good amount of money. I don't know what state you live in and how much your teachers genuinely get paid, but here in Arizona they get anywhere between $48,000 to $50,000 normally for public school education, K through 12. Which, if you think about it in dollar amount per hour, that's like $25 an hour. And on paper, that sounds like really good. But when you do the math, Arizona's super expensive to live in right now. It is number 4 on the least affordable states to live in, under Hawaii, California, and I forgot the third one. But we're number 4, so we're not. That's 46 states that are cheaper than us to live in. So it's not that cheap, and everyone keeps moving here. So it's driving the cost of living up even more. She went to school, got her bachelor's degree, did everything right, and still can't really afford to live the life she wants independently. Which is kind of one of the reasons I kind of left teaching when I was struggling in the first place. Because in my head, I was struggling so much for so little. Because at the time, I had a part-time contract, but I was subbing full-time. So if I didn't have students to teach, I'd be a substitute at the school, and I would go to classrooms that needed help. But I was only getting part-time pay. And I didn't feel like it was worth the stress. Because I wasn't even getting a livable wage. So I figured I might as well just get a job that pays the same amount and is half the stress. And I did, but it's really not enough to live. And I'm in a time in my life where I'm really trying to lock in. I'm really trying to find something that pays a livable wage. But with me not necessarily having a bunch of dough to throw at getting a master's degree or going to trade school, you're in a tight spot. You're really constricted on what you can do. And I already have student loan payments to pay off. It's not that much, thank goodness. I was very fortunate. I did probably the smartest thing you can do, which is try to pay out of pocket and not get any private loans. And I transferred from a community college with an associate's to a bachelor's degree. So I only had to go to a university for 2 years versus 4, which saved me a lot of money. But even with that, I still owe a little bit. So, it's a conundrum of, do you go back to school and potentially not get a job with that degree anyway still, and it doesn't really elevate you, or not? Or do you go to trade school and then hope that trade is still around in 10 years with how much technology is booming and AI's taking jobs away? It's a conundrum. And, I talk to everybody in my life that I know about it, and everybody's at a loss for words about what to do. Everybody I know is trying to make more money because everything's so expensive. Even people that are making substantial money, people are making more money than me, not just a little, but significant, are desperately trying to find more because it's so expensive that they're still looking for more. It's never enough. So, cost of living's pretty... Going to the grocery store is a humiliation ritual. Going and looking for jobs is a humiliation ritual. Literally trying to be an adult right now is a humiliation ritual. It's so crazy out there. And I'm trying to keep my peace. This is such an interesting time to try to build your self-esteem while you're dealing with this stuff, because it's rejection after rejection. I can't tell you how many times I've applied to jobs, and within a couple hours they already send me an email oh, sorry, we're not hiring, or we're unfortunately gonna have to move forward with somebody else. I'm wait. it doesn't even feel like the job is real in the first place. It feels like sometimes they're like immediate rejections. I'm like, how? Or you don't have the qualifications. I've been working in so many fields since I was able to work. I have a degree and I apply it to the certain jobs I've been, applying for, tapering my resume. And nothing comes through. I've gotten a couple jobs only to have to turn them down because they made less than what I'm already making, or the circumstances that they were promising, I could see through that it wasn't going to fall through. So I'm like, I'm not even going to take that chance. So how do we just have to wait it out? Do we just wait for what though? Like, I don't have words. Like, have you talked to people my age trying to get a house? Or trying to settle down? There's an argument to be made why people aren't getting married, settling down, having kids, and buying houses. Oh, they can't afford to. What? Or they're so busy working 2-3 jobs to afford their rent that they don't have time for that kind of stuff anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's, like, humans need community, and we need a sense of, like, faith or drive that what we're doing has purpose. Right now, people don't have that. That's why they're so unhappy. They can see through these lies and these false promises that they have been promised their whole lives, that if you go to school, if you get all A's, if you go to college and do well and get a degree, you'll have a livable wage. No. That is not it's not a promise anymore. Now it's like, it's one more thing you have that somebody else might not have. Yeah. But they're not even looking for that anymore. They're looking for people they can hire and know how to do the job already. So those entry-level jobs, they're not there anymore. The stepping stone to get into certain trades and careers is not there anymore. So, we have this problem of, like, you're hiring people that know how to do the job. That means they have a career in it already, so they're probably older than me. But they're not going to be around forever, and then you're going to be left with a vacancy, and people that don't have experience can't fill that role. So how are you going to fill that role when you expect people to have the skill that they have to work in the field to gain? It's like, here's how it feels. You're looking at a job application that says it's entry level, right? Entry level position, starting pay X amount, must have 5 years relevant experience in this role. That's not entry level. That's, you require experience, that's no longer entry level. Like, I'm still waiting for jobs to get back to me. There's some jobs that will never get back to me. There's some jobs that eventually they'll get back to me in a couple months and be like, oh yeah, no. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's been months. I've reached out, you guys don't say anything. Like, I kind of figured you weren't gonna get, if you're not that enthusiastic, why am I gonna believe that you're gonna hire me if you take your dandy time? It's not a rush. So, yeah, the cost to live has grown like this, and income has grown like that. It hasn't grown enough to keep pace with the inflation values of today in 2026. It hasn't. And I don't know if you've been at the gas pump lately, the grocery store, or just wanted to go out for dinner. It's expensive. It's so expensive. Me and my partner will go out to dinner, just the two of us, 2 meals, 2 drinks. It's always $50. I can't remember the last time we got a meal for 2 and it was $30. That would be amazing, unless it's like fast food. I'm talking about somewhere you go and you dine in, which, yeah, you're paying for the experience, blah. But it's not even high class. It's not like we're going to like freaking Fuka de Chow or something. We're not going to the Keg. Why am I paying $50 for a cheeseburger and fries and a freaking fountain drink? That's absurd. I don't know. It's just, how do people feel fulfilled when what they're doing their best at doesn't even cover the basics. It does cover basics. I'm not gonna lie, it does. But let's say you're in my shoes and you're trying to save for a new car. Do you know how much money I have after bills to pay for a new car? Not much. I mean, I'm saving now. I have saved some, which is better than none, but it's saving at such a slow rate. I'm not gonna see a new car for like, I'd be lucky if I could afford it in a year. That's where we're at. Like, that's how much I can put away. So, I don't know how anyone can get a step up when no one's allowing people access to a step up. I don't know how people, like, you know, people like really have the audacity to be like, well, just get a better job. Like, that's something they're not trying to do already with what they have. And what they have isn't good enough. How do you get experience when they won't allow you to get experience? It's just crazy to me. So it's so defeated. Like, it's a very defeating feeling nowadays, trying to find something that will help support you for the rest of your life. Like, I just don't see it happening soon. So, like, the only thing I can do is keep doing what I'm doing, which is applying. But that gets so exhausting after a while when you have applied every day for multiple jobs and haven't even gotten one to fall through in the past, like a year. I don't blame people for getting frustrated. It's very humiliating, and it feels like, you know, how do you not take that to like, oh, I'm not good enough to get this job? But it's unfair almost. Some of these jobs shouldn't require as much experience as they should. Like, these jobs, a lot of them, you just need to be shown the ropes like once or twice for the role and you're good. But they don't even want to do that. And it's saddening. The opportunities that people before us had to like get into a different career without prior training doesn't exist anymore. That doesn't exist. You have to really hope that you're born into a family that owns a business that can train you since you're like able to work to get the experience so that you don't have to pay for college or something. I wasn't blessed with that. I'm sorry, I wasn't. Some people are. Thank goodness you have a family business to lean on. But like, I wasn't born into that at all. So, it's really just up to me and what I have. And what I have is a degree for art teaching. And that's what I've been applying for. I have not heard a single thing back. What else do you do? I'm doing what I can. I'm applying where I can. What am I supposed to do? What else are you supposed to do? I don't know. Like, what do you... I would love to be able to come home one day and be like, I finally got a job where I can afford to live on my own if something happens. That I won't be dirt poor broke every time I get paid. I mean, I'll still be broke. I'll still be poor. That's just how expensive things are. But I'll be less broke and less poor. And I'll feel a little bit better. It's crazy hard, dude. It's really hard right now. And I really feel for everyone that is really making an attempt to get better and do better. It's very competitive right now. And for people my age that are just really coming into their adult years for a career, that don't have as much experience, it is so tough to get your foot in the door unless you know someone in there already. It is really tough. I don't know. What do you think it's going to take for things to be more affordable? What do you think, y'all? What do you predict will either make or break the economy? Because we spend so much, and yet we have nothing to return that investment on for the American people, I feel like. And it's crazy to see how in debt the United States is, and to know that they're still pulling taxes out of us and giving the money out anywhere else besides where most Americans feel they need it. That's crazy to me. So where do we think it's going to make or break? What do we see happening in the next 10, 20, 30 years? What do we see? Because I've seen trends like this in history, and I don't like where it's going. I really hope things get better. I really hope. I do hope. Do I trust? I don't know. But do I hope? Of course I hope. We have to hope for the best. We have to, because what else is there to do besides what we can? Nothing. Anyway, so chit chat in the comments. What do you think is going to happen? How are you feeling with the cost of living? How are you making it by? What tips do you have to make yourself feel better despite all the challenges like that we are all facing? Just know that you're not alone, okay? Many people are in this boat with you, so don't feel like it's all your fault. Because, yeah, if you're not doing anything to change anything, then yeah, you're putting yourself there. But if you're applying to jobs and still adamantly trying, what else can you do? You're doing what you can. So, anyway, yeah, I was just, had that on my mind. And I was like, it is crazy that I hear these people working full-time jobs that require a bachelor's degree and can't afford to live. That's criminal, in my opinion. That's criminal. You're robbing people of a life that they should rightfully so have. So yeah, that's really all I had to yap about. Yeah, thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.